A music catalog is property. It is a portfolio of rights that can generate cash flow for decades. When people say catalog, they mean the income tied to the two main buckets: the composition, which is publishing, and the sound recording, which is the master. Those two buckets create multiple payment streams. On the publishing side, you have mechanical royalties and performance royalties. Mechanical is tied to streams, downloads, and certain reproductions of the song. Performance is tied to public performances, radio, TV, live venues, and broadcasts. And this is usually collected through performance rights organizations. On the master side, you have a revenue coming in from streams and sales going through labels and distributors. Plus, the master side is licensing for films, ads, games, trailers, and social content. Then there is sync. Sync is where music turns into an immediate business lever. A song is placed in a big ad campaign, a Netflix-style series movement, a sports promo, or a game trailer, and it generates a lump sum of licensing fee. And the real win is that sync often triggers back-end performance money too, because a show or broadcast generates performances after the placement. Now add neighboring rights, which matters more outside the United States. This is another income. Layers for the use of recording in public places are broadcast in many territories. So when you own a catalog, you're not relying on one revenue lane. You're collecting from layers. That layer design is why catalogs became investors. Streaming changed music into a steady utility. People do not stop consuming music after the release week. They replay songs, they revisit albums, and they discover old records through new movements. A scene, a show, a TikTok trend, a documentary, a meme, a playlist. That behavior creates predictability, and predictability is what capital chases. Once investors saw older songs could produce consistent income year after year, music rights started looking like infrastructure, a durable cash flow asset. Something you can model, something you can finance, something you can buy and hold. That's why you hear about catalogs selling for high multiples of annual earnings, because the buyer is not paying for the past. They are paying for the next 20 to 30 years of cash flow. And the buyers are betting on a few things. They're betting on global streaming growth, especially in regions that are still expanding paid subscriptions. They are betting on sync demand that keeps increasing because the world keeps producing more and more content. More than ever. More shows, more games, more ads, more creator media. They are betting that evergreen songs stay evergreen because the culture keeps recycling the hits that people already know. They are betting that music spending holds up even when the economy gets shaky, because music is low-cost entertainment people do not easily drop. This is why private equity and institutional money got involved. Music rights can behave differently than stock. They can diversify a portfolio. The income can look bond-like, but with upside if the catalog grows through smart licensing and marketing. Now here's the part artists have to understand. Music money moves on a delay. Streaming activity can spike this week, and the payments tied to the spike can land months later. The performance money can run in quarterly cycles. The mechanical reporting can vary depending on the platform, territories, and administration. Sync fees might pay faster, but even sync has paperwork, approval, splits, and delivery requirements before it clears. So an artist can look hot online but feel broke, because the money is routed through systems and timelines that were built before streaming. And if the data is messy, the money can disappear. A catalog is only valuable as its metadata. The wrong writer splits, the wrong publishing information, missing registration, incorrect ISRCs or ISWCs conflict between distributors, unclaimed royalties sitting in holding pools, money that cannot be matched gets stuck. That's why catalog management is the real work. Registering the composition, registering recordings, keeping splits clean, keeping ownership clear, keeping the song linked to the right parties. When the catalog is organized, it becomes safer for the investors. Safer means higher valuation. Now, why do artists sell? One reason is liquidity. An artist might prefer a large upfront check today instead of waiting years for royalty checks and slowly adding up. That cash can fund new projects, pay down debt, secure family stability, or build other assets. Another reason why estate planning, catalog ownership can be complicated to pass down. Selling can simplify the process. Another reason is risk transfer. A buyer can take on long-term uncertainty, changes in the platform rates, shift in consumption, and legal disputes. All that gets priced into the deal. In some structures, selling can also change the tax profile compared to ordinary royalty income, depending on how the sale is done and where you live. The point is, the sale is often treated like an asset transaction, not a paycheck. This is not only a superstar conversation. This is a structured conversation. A small catalog that you fully own, properly registered, clean metadata can become a real long-term asset and can generate recurring income. It can increase valuation over time, and it can strengthen leverage in negotiations. It can support loans and funding because lenders and buyers like predictable cash flow. Most creators focus on making the next song. The real long game is building and owning a catalog that pays you while you sleep. That's how music catalogs became billion-dollar assets. The song is the art, the catalog is the asset, and whoever owns the rights owns the revenue curve.